This is video blog number 1 for my conducting portfolio for Fundamentals of Conducting with Frank Abrahams. And this is an overview of our first week of classes. On Monday, we had our first official class where we talked about the syllabus, what was expected of us, and what we would be required to do for the semester. And we were introduced to our conducting portfolio, which the word portfolio alone scared the daylights out of me. I'm not gonna lie. But one day at a time. So it's basically a blog. Holly and I decided that we would do a video blog versus an actual typed out blog because I'm not a very eloquent writer sometimes, so I thought this would be easier. We went over the books that we have for the class, which is James Jordan's Evoking Sound, and then another book which is Music for Beginning Choral Conductors. So we also learned about batons, and Dr. Frank Abrahams is very, very pro-baton, and some feel as though using a baton can't really be as musical as using your hand, but Dr. Abrahams disagrees. He told us that the baton is an extension of your hand, basically your pointer finger, and they're supposed to balance. Of course, it's not going to do it now that I'm recording the video, but they're supposed to balance. But this is my baton, and it is the length from the palm of my hand, right here on the palm of my hand, to my arm. So then it becomes an extension of your hand, and it's held with your right hand, because your right hand is to keep the beat, and then your left hand is for expressiveness. And we also learned that there is a specific way to hold the baton. It is used with your wrist, not your elbow. When you're normally conducting, it's a lot of elbow movement, but once you add the baton, it becomes hand movement, because you don't want it to become conductor holding stick, as Dr. Abrahams put it. On the 26th of January, we had our second class, where we learned a lot about the actual conducting pattern itself. We took a lot of notes concerning the fact that we had read James Jordan's Evoking Sound Chapter 12, that was due that day in class, and we learned that there are 4 parts of a conducting gesture. They are preparation, directional swing, ictus, and the rebound, and it's just kind of just one giant cycle since the rebound becomes the preparation. All of this is in my notes, which you'll be able to find if you look up on this little tab thing up at the top of the blog. There's a section that says notes. Just click on that, and all my notes will be there so you can see what we learned for the day. We learned that you need to signal the choir and breathe with the choir, and then the aspects of the breath. We learned the difference between a conductor being a receiver and a conductor being a reacher. Some conductors decide to be in the choir and work with the choir, and other conductors kind of like to stand back and, you know, have the sound come to them. And neither way is right or wrong. It just depends on your personal preference. On Friday, January 28th, we had our third day of class, and this was a really, really fun and exciting class because it was our first day of conducting. We had 3 or 4 students that conducted in the class, and it was really a great learning experience, not only for the people that were conducting, but for the rest of the class, being able to watch them and critique them and hear the comments from our other classmates as well as the comments from Dr. Abrahams. So even though I personally didn't get the chance to conduct on Friday, I definitely learned a lot for the chance that I do get to conduct, most likely in class on Monday. And we used the form critiques that Dr. Frank Abraham sent to us, filled them out, and then distributed them to our classmates so that they were able to have our comments on a hard copy as well. Hopefully I'll be able to conduct this week, and they will also be up on this tab, little bar. Check it out. So basically it was a really exciting week, even though it was the first week of classes. We talked about the syllabus and batons and conducting patterns, and even had our own classmates conduct, which is always so exciting because I am a type 1 learner, so I learn by doing, not by listening. So that's it, I guess, for today, and I look forward to talking next week.